In this video we are going to start chapter number 2, and in our previous two lecture we have completed chapter number 1. So chapter number 2 is about atom, molecules and ion. Chemistry and the elements. There are various elements in the periodic table, and in this table there are certain elements with their symbolic expression, and also these elements in the Latin name. For example, we can say copper in the Latin name as cuprum, and iron as ferrum, lead as plumbum, and so on. Let's look at the relative abundance on Earth. Oxygen is the most abundant element in both the Earth's crust and the human body, but there is a little difference that oxygen in the Earth is 46.1%, but when we look at the rate percentage of oxygen in human body, it is 61%. And silicon is 28.2%, aluminium is 8.29%, iron is 5.69%, magnesium is 2.39%, and calcium 4.1%, sodium 2.4%, and potassium 2.1%. These are all the relative abundance on Earth. But let's look at the relative abundance in the human body. In the human body, carbon is 23%, nitrogen 26%, hydrogen 10%, calcium 1.4%. Okay, this is the periodic table. How we can identify the symbol, atomic number, atomic mass. So this is the element symbol, hydrogen, lithium. It is represented by capital letter, and above that symbol there is written 1. Basically this is atomic number, and below it is that the number that is below written in the hydrogen, this is basically the atomic mass. Unfortunately the atomic mass is not shown in this periodic table. So elements and the periodic table. There are periods and group in the periodic table. Periods are basically the 7 horizontal rows, and groups are 18 vertical columns. There are two standard system. International standard. In international standard, we can say that in periodic table there are 1 to 18 groups. But in according to US system, we can say that in periodic table there are 1A to 8A groups and 1B to 8B groups. Moreover, there are some main groups which are from column 1A to 2A. This basically include two groups, group 1A and group 2A. And from column 3A to 8A there are 6 groups, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, 8A. And transition metals are in the middle of the periodic table. It is between the metals and the non-metals, and it is from 3B to 2B groups. It includes 8 groups and 10 columns. But there are some inner transition metals that forms 14 groups between 3B to 4B. It consists of lanthanides and actinide series. These are the lanthanides and actinide series, these two columns and rows. These are the alkali metals. So let's look at the some chemical properties and physical properties of that alkali metals. Except hydrogen, all the elements in the group 1A are alkali metals. So some chemical properties of alkali metals are they are highly reactive except lithium, which is less reactive than other members of the group. They explode when exposed to water. They produces alkaline solution along with hydrogen gas. Evolution, they are reducing agent. They are most electropositive. They are capable of dissolving water. Most of the compound are ionic in nature. Here are some physical properties of alkali metal. They are white solids and silvery metal. They are malleable and ductile. They are shiny and lustrous. They are soft and cut with butter knife. Have distinct flame shape. Let's look at some physical and chemical properties of the element, which are alkaline earth metal. So what are alkaline earth metal? These are belongs to the group 2A. 2A group includes the alkaline earth metals. Alkaline earth metal, they are react with oxygen to form oxides, react with hydrogen to create metallic hydrides. They form corrosive alkaline hydroxide, and except beryllium, other members of group 2A react with water. They react with the carbon to form carbides. Alkaline earth metal, about the physical properties of alkaline metal. Earth metal, they have gray white luster. They are soft and strong, have melting point and boiling point higher than alkali metals, and they are malleable and ductile as well as alkali metal. They have relatively low densities. Halogens are the elements that belong to group 7A, and they are salt forming. They have strong and often nasty smell. The halogen elements are extremely toxic. They are poor conductors of heat and electricity, and they have low melting and boiling points. Noble gases are the elements that belong to group 8A. They are colorless, odorless, and tasteless. They are non-flammable gases. They have low densities. They are gases at room temperature, and they have low melting and boiling point. When we see the periodic table, there are some metals, there are some non-metals elements. How we categorize the elements on their metallic basis. Some are metals, some are non-metals, and some are metalloids between the category of metal and non-metal. So metals except hydrogen, from this side to this side, they forms a zigzag line. So before the zigzag line, all the elements are metal. So the left side of the zigzag line in the periodic table except for hydrogen are metals. Metals, their density is usually high. They are malleable and ductile, form alloys with other metals or non-metals. Some metals react with air and corrode. They are good conductor of heat and electricity because they have free electrons. They are solid at room temperature. These are the non-metals that are right side of the zigzag line in the periodic table, and also the hydrogen, which is also a non-metal. A non-metal are poor conductor of heat and electricity. They are not malleable and ductile. They react with metal. Then with non-metal, they react with non-metal in high temperature. Most non-metal do not react with air in room temperature. So there is a zigzag line in between the metal and non-metal. There are semi-metals. They tend to lie along the zigzag line in the periodic table. They are dull and shiny. They conduct heat and electricity, but they are not good conductor than metals. They are good semiconductor, we can say that. They are malleable and ductile. They both gain and lose electron in reaction. So here are some work or conceptual work. Um, for example, classify elements based upon properties and location in the periodic table. The question is, an element is a colorless gas at room temperature and pressure. It is highly reactive and therefore only found in nature combined with other elements. Classify the elements as metal, non-metal or semi-metal and specify its location in the periodic table. So the element which is a non-metal, because it is a gas, and all elements with the exception of mercury and semi-metals are solid at room temperature and pressure. Its high reactivity indicate it is a halogen, but it cannot be bromine or iodine since these elements are not gases at room temperature. The point to be noted is that we are provided that the information that the element is a gas. So Another question, an element is shiny silver colored solid at room temperature and pressure. It conducts electricity and can be found in nature in its pure form. And we have to classify the element as metal, non-metal, semi-metal, and also specify its location in the periodic table. So the element is metal, its location is near the end of the transition metal. Likely metal is silver, which conduct electricity and found in nature in pure form. It is in one big group in the D block. Other metals never found in nature in pure form. This is the point to be noted, and that are found are not shiny silver colored solid at room temperature and pressure. We have another question, an element indicated in the 1A group in the fourth period. We have to give the symbol, name of that element, and classify the element as metal, non-metal, or semi-metal. So first of all, the element that is in the 1A group and also in the fourth period, its symbol is K, which is the potassium, and it is a metal. Then predict the appearance of the element at room temperature and pressure. It is solid and shiny metallic at room temperature. Obviously it is a metal, so it is solid and shiny. And what would happen if you were to hit a pure sample of this element with a hammer? It would deform and not crack, because it is soft, and it is not crack because it is a metal. Could this element can be used to make a wire to conduct electricity in your home? It would conduct electricity, but it is not a good choice for wiring because it reacts when exposed to oxygen and humidity in the atmosphere. Potassium is also a soft metal, which make it unsuitable for use as a wire. Here on the periodic table, we have to provide the location of alkali matter, halogens, alkaline earth metal, hydrogen, helium. So hydrogen is the first element in the 1A group, and helium is the first element in the 8A group. So this is hydrogen, this is helium, and the 2A group is alkaline earth metal, and 1A is except the hydrogen or alkali metals, and transition metal in between the metals and non-metal. These are transition metals, and our halogens belong to group 7A. In this question, we have to draw the zigzag line of the semi-metal we studied before. Then identify the three elements and classify these elements as metal, non-metal. What would you expect? They have similar. These are three metal elements. This is basically the question number 2.35 of the book, and chapter number 2. So these three elements are copper, silver, and Au. They are in 1B group. These are metals. The gold is more resistant to reaction, and then silver, then copper. The resistance increases from copper through silver to gold. These three are at foot of reactivity series. They are not easily advised to form positive ions. Then we have to look at the alphabetical list of the element inside the front cover. What are the symbol? So in the periodic table, we have to find the symbol of these elements. Gadolinium has GD, germanium has capital G small e, technetium has capital T small c. The first symbol must be capitalized, and the another symbol followed by the first must be in the small letter. Arsenic, capital A small s. Similarly, cadmium has CD, iridium IR, beryllium BE, and tungsten has only one letter symbolic expression, which is W. And similarly, T, capital T small e belongs to tellurium. In this case, there is opposite to the above question. We are provided with these symbols, and we have to write the name of the element. So similarly, in this case, we are provided with letter and we write the name. So in 2.50 we have to find what is wrong with the statement. The symbol for tin is Ti, but the tin symbol for tin is Sn, and Ti is titanium. Similarly, we have to answer that the symbol for manganese is Mg, but Mg is basically the signal of uh, symbol of magnesium, and for manganese it is Mn. The symbol for potassium is Po, which is wrong. Po is polonium and symbol of potassium is capital K. The symbol for helium is He. The symbol of helium is basically capital S, small e. There is mistake of the another letter which must be in the small letter. Similarly, what is wrong with this statement? The symbol for carbon is Ca, but it is not Ca, it is C, capital C. Ca is for calcium. The symbol for sodium is So. No, it is not So. Sodium is capital N, small a. The symbol for nitrogen is capital Ni. This is nickel, and for nitrogen, capital N is the symbol. The symbol for chlorine is Cr. No, Cr is the symbol of chromium, and for chlorine it is capital C, small l. How many groups we have studied before, and what common characteristic do elements with a group of periodic table have? They have similar chemical properties basically. We studied for the main group elements, transition groups, and we also know the location of these groups, and we also know what is semi-metal, where it is found, and here are some more examples of metal, non-metal. So let's look at in the periodic table we know the location of metal, non-metal or semi-metal. We can identify any symbol or any name of the element as metal or semi-metal. So for example, in this case selenium is non-metal, silicon is semi-metal. Similarly, we can classify as argon as non-metal, nitrogen as non-metal, chlorine as non-metal, magnesium as metal, because it is in the 2A group, and nitrogen is in the 5A group. Without looking at periodic table, list many alkali metals. As you can alkali metal name lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium, and you also know the name of halogens and the noble gases. These are all about this chapter 2, and this is our lecture number 3.